Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one, between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a site that has seen more than its fair share of great playoff memories the last few decades, and more could be in store as we've got playoff football again at sold-out Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
No one yet, Brian. I'm working on it.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
Black 30.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Samuels. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And this is a unit that has to feel good about itself. Got the win last week in the wild card round, and oftentimes we say you want to get the open week and get some rest, but many times we see the upsets happen with a team that won the week before and has momentum on its side.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's taken to the 26. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Patriots take over. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up first and 10 at the 45. Now Brady being chased out left. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
He may try and run for this. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. Joe Hayden there to bring him down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Brady. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
Oh, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Let's see if we can get him up.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he'll need to put that interception out of his mind quickly, because between the field goal and the pick six, they're already looking up at a 2-score differential.
And isn't it interesting that a lot of the time when we talk about having a short memory, we say that's a defensive back, right? Got beat for a touchdown pass, throw it out. Quarterbacks have to do the same thing. They make a mistake, come back and be the best quarterback you were before.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down.
Ready? 51, come on. Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Roethlisberger. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with third and long. Now Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. A 3-yard loss, fourth down now.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Dorsett on the return. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch the pass.
Brady gives to Michelle. And some room to work. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 30 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. First carry for James Conner. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, now, 2:30.
17-0 our score after 1.
I got one. I got one.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They go play action here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Dancing to his left. Well, the connection, this is Ryan Izzo, complete. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Michelle. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 16. Brady eluding the pressure right. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Braxton Berrios, 44 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The drive will start with Connor. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check. 380. Check. 55 to Mike. Yeah, let's get that ball, Dean. Let's get that ball right here. 72.
And they will run it with Michelle. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21. 1-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And now this throw complete to Washington. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Here's Dorsett. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now here comes the Steelers defense once more. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had... So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go.
On the ground, Michelle. And he's got some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Gostkowski for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round week. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Lawrence Guy in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs now leads to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Well, they're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now Roethlisberger down around his goal line. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Brady going to throw. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. Flush to his right. Got his man. That's Harry. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Brady again. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a third in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. And it is the Kansas City Chiefs who will fight another week as they were able to knock off the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spending.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel, 73 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Extra point try for Gostkowski. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
Keep
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Roethlisberger looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Black 20. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 35.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Here we go. Black 30. Here we go. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
On 2nd down now, Samuels, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel, 74 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. Room here to run. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Treadwell. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like.
There he goes, left side, the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Roethlisberger, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
You better be ready.
Ben to throw again. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Roethlisberger will throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Harris now to return. Yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Patriots. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Down. 15, Lonnie. 15 line. 59. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Get it.
The backup Stidham, his first throw. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Ready?
3rd and 2, now Stidham. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
They'll run on first down. Michelle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, Stidham's actually going to throw it. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Ready. 30 base. 59. Mike to 59. All right, T. Let's go. All right, T.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw forward with Stidham. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop.
Ready? Block 80! Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. One last shot for Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a site that has seen more than its fair share of great playoff memories the last few decades, and more could be in store as we've got playoff football again at sold-out Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, let's get sandwich.
They'll run for the first time with Peyton Barber. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, Barber. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Patriots here to get their first shot on offense. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth. and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 29, Brady escaping the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tom Brady flashing the mobility, scrambling there for a 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Brady. Buying time to us, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down. And it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Brady to throw. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Josh Gordon, 68 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is? Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Completes it to Hardman. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
What we hear so often... Tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
This is Harris. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 13. They begin with Michel on the ground. Powerful running. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy. You could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, That was well executed.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. Runs through the contact. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Brady. Flush to his right. That's out to his running back, Michel. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 57 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Gostkowski for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. On the return, Harris. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Patriots take over. So the Patriots coming out now. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into this.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Tom Brady, his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Extra point try for Gostkowski. And it is now 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down, it's Barber. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
They'll try and run here with Barber. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Harris to return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Frank Clark, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack on 1st down, Brady gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
He can run for it, and he will. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
Yeah, if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it, and it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? In this case,
and nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Of course, he's fresh off the Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC, and what a game it was last week, and a long touchdown run right there.
He and his offensive line, the receivers blocking downfield, they're all in sync right now. Could carry him to a second straight Player of the Week award.
The point after try for Gostkowski. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing now is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Mahomes now on first down. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And again, it's Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home that Lamar Hunt trophy and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half and the right to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, as I'm privileged to hand things back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
They start the second half with Michel on the ground. And some space here. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they are really laser focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have been dominant in this one. Extra point good by Gostkowski, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Devin McCourty brings him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll stay on the ground with Barber. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Mahomes now to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards. On that one, Kansas City has a first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Barber on 1st and 10. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draw.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. They haven't had to rely so much on the passing game. It's really been a team effort in the running game that's kept them successful and has them in the lead.
I like that, too, the team effort, because when I was growing up, one guy carried the football, right? You stuck it in his chest 20 to 30 times a game, and he was the heavy volume, heavy dose guy. Now, you spread it around, different people touching it, and in this game, it's proven to be effective.
Yeah, spreading the wealth has been very effective. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he's able to get it back to the... ...33-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Barber. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw, it's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey. Getting set to go again, Danny Etling marches back onto the field. And we'll see if he opts for a heavier dose of running plays, because running is where they've had more success than in the passing game.
And the way they've spread it around to different people running it as well. It's not just been one principal guy who's carried the thing and moved the game forward for them. Whoever has touched it has given him good yardage. I think he's going to stay with that game plan. It takes the pressure off of him as a thrower.
And a team effort, and they're winning on the scoreboard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Gets it to Gordon. 30, 20, 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Josh Gordon, 81 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gostkowski for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelsey, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes going to throw. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Let's go.
They'll run with Michelle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel, 33 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier, now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him, as we've seen. Would you say 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. That's caught. It's Peyton Barber. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. To Thompson on the draw. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Here we go, D. Shoot.
Back to throw, Etling. And he's going to have the hook up to Izzo. The 30. Past the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Ryan Izzo, 76 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
The point after try for Gostkowski. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
On first down, Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On second down now, it's Thompson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The Chiefs on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And here's a good way to kick off the drive, complete over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now we'll throw here to his running back. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
60 or 0-0, Mike Green. Here I come. 5.
On 2nd down, Michelle. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Gostkowski for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And this is caught by Watkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Yellow. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Dietrich Wise Jr. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Gaskin. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for them, doesn't it, Brandon? The idea that you've done it all that hard work, all that sweating, all that effort, all those times you're getting yelled at by your coach, and now you get to go to the Super Bowl. Put your hats on, guys, and say AFC champs.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.